Look, let's be honest. Reality can be incredibly boring. Paying bills, sitting in traffic, trying to remember if you turned off the oven. So, is it any surprise some people spice things up? They look at the official story for anything and think, no, that can't be it. It's too simple, too logical. And just like that, they grab a shovel and start digging down a rabbit hole, finding order in a chaotic, random world. Believing a secret group controls everything feels more comforting than admitting nobody is in control. The need for a better story is the lifeblood of conspiracy theories, the ultimate fan fiction for real life. Turn messy events into neat narratives with clear villains, hidden clues. Why accept a boring truth when you can have a thrilling mystery? Suddenly, you're not just a person on the internet. You're a detective, an insider who sees what others miss. You've woken up, i.e., spent 6 hours watching grainy YouTube videos. No qualifications needed to join the club. Put on our tinfoil hats, pour ourselves a drink, take a gentle stroll through conspiracy's greatest hits. Faked trips to the moon, secret lizard people, and more fun than the official story.
The official story is that on July 20th, 1969, we landed on the moon. A giant leap for mankind. But a popular conspiracy theory suggests the whole thing was a Hollywood production. The idea is that the US government, desperate to beat the Soviets, hired legendary director Stanley Kubrick to fake the entire event on a soundstage. Proponents point to evidence, like the American flag waving in a vacuum, and suspicious shadows that suggest multiple light sources, like on a film set. Now, scientists have explained all of this, but the conspiracy is just a better story. The genius part is Kubrick. After his stunningly realistic film 2001, A Space Odyssey, the story goes that NASA knew he was the only one who could pull it off. For some, it's easier to believe in a massive, flawlessly executed cover-up than a monumental achievement, especially when the alternative involves a secret movie directed by Stanley Kubrick. That's an ending even Hollywood would approve of.
On November 22, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. The official government report, known as the Warren Commission Report, concluded that a lone gunman, Lee Harvey Oswald, fired 3 shots from the Texas schoolbook depository. This is the simple, tragic explanation. But for millions, it's far too simple. The conspiracy theories surrounding the JFK assassination are a vast and complicated universe. The most popular one argues that Oswald was not the only shooter. There was a second gunman, maybe even a third, hiding behind a fence on a small hill known as the Grassy Knoll. The magic bullet theory is the centerpiece of this conspiracy. The Warren Commission stated that one single bullet, officially named CE-399, caused 7 different wounds in both President Kennedy and Governor John Connally, who was sitting in front of him. Passed through Kennedy's neck, entered Connally's back, exited his chest, shattered his wrist, lodged in his thigh, emerging in nearly pristine condition. To skeptics, this sounds less like ballistics and more like a pinball machine. The list of potential culprits in the JFK assassination conspiracy is longer than a CVS receipt. The CIA, the KGB, the Mafia, anti-Castro Cubans, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson. It's like a game of Clue, but on a national scale. It was Colonel Mustard in Dallas with a sniper rifle. This conspiracy has endured for so long because it taps into a deep-seated distrust of power and a desire for a more satisfying narrative. The official story that a lonely, disturbed man could single-handedly change the course of history is deeply unsettling. The conspiracy, on the other hand, offers a more structured, if sinister, explanation. A president's death must be the result of a powerful plot, not just one man with a cheap rifle. It's a dark comfort, but a comfort nonetheless. The official account of September 11, 2001 is that Al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airplanes. 2 planes crashed into the World Trade Center towers in New York. 1 plane crashed into the Pentagon. The 4th plane crashed in a field in Pennsylvania after passengers fought back. The intense fires from the jet fuel weakened the steel support structures of the Twin Towers, causing them to collapse. It was a day of unimaginable horror and tragedy. For a group known as the 9/11 Truth Movement, however, this official narrative is a lie. They believe the attacks were an inside job, orchestrated or allowed to happen by elements within the US government. The core argument of many 9/11 truthers revolves around the phrase, "Jet fuel can't melt steel beams." They claim the fires in the towers were not hot enough to melt the steel columns. So the buildings must have been brought down by pre-planted explosives in a controlled demolition. They point to the speed at which the towers fell, at nearly free fall speed, as proof. They also focus on the collapse of a third building, 7 World Trade Center. It was not hit by a plane, but it fell hours later. The Truther movement also questions the attack on the Pentagon. They find it suspicious that a large Boeing 757 could crash into the building and leave a relatively small hole. Some even go so far as to suggest that it wasn't a plane at all, but a missile. These questions are often presented alongside claims that the US air defense system inexplicably failed to intercept any of the 4 hijacked planes for over an hour. The 9/11 inside job theory is perhaps the most painful and divisive of modern conspiracies. It takes a national trauma and transforms it into an act of supreme betrayal. It paints a picture of a government so evil, it's almost cartoonish, which is somehow easier to grasp than the messy reality of terrorism and intelligence failures.
In 1947, something crashed near Roswell, New Mexico. The military first said flying disc, then quickly changed their story to weather balloon. For conspiracy theorists, this was a cover-up. They believe the government recovered an alien spacecraft and its occupants, hiding them away in the top-secret facility, Area 51, to reverse engineer their technology. It also implies that aliens, for all their advanced tech, are terrible drivers. And that's a comforting thought. Of all the secret societies, the Illuminati is the undisputed heavyweight champion. The modern theory imagines a secret cabal of the world's elite. Politicians, business leaders, celebrities, secretly controlling everything. Theorists see their symbols everywhere, from the all-seeing eye on the US dollar bill to hand gestures made by celebrities. Every major global event is seen as a step in their grand plan. It's the ultimate puppet master theory, and it's incredibly flexible. Did your favorite team lose? Illuminati. Slow Wi-Fi? You guessed it. Ultimately, the Illuminati is the final boss of conspiracy theories, the grand, unifying theory that connects all the others, from the JFK assassination to Area 51. It's the ultimate expression of our feeling of powerlessness in a strange way. Being oppressed by a secret global elite feels more significant than just having bad luck.
So, what have we learned after our journey down these rabbit holes? Stanley Kubrick might have been the greatest filmmaker and con artist of all time. A single bullet can have a more dramatic career than most actors. The world is secretly run by a group of powerful people who really like triangles, or perhaps we've learned something more important about ourselves. These stories aren't just about aliens and secret plots. They are about our deep human need for answers, control, and a narrative that makes sense. Conspiracy theories offer a strange kind of comfort. They provide a simple explanation for complicated events. Believing in a conspiracy is like having a secret map to the world. It might be the wrong map, leading you in circles, but for a while, it feels good. These theories are a testament to the power of a good story. We are storytelling animals. Official reports are dry and boring. A conspiracy is a blockbuster thriller. They make us the protagonist in our own detective story. Maybe that tinfoil hat isn't just about blocking mind control rays. Maybe it's a security blanket. Sometimes you need a good story to get through it, even if it involves aliens, magic bullets, or Beyoncé. Especially if it involves Beyoncé.